Dane and Derek is an uncensored, unfiltered podcast. You can find content warnings in the episode description. Thank you for listening. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dane and Derek. And this week on the show, we have a very, very special episode. My name is Derek, and I'm all the usual things, but that's not so much important as we've got some stuff to get to today. I'm here with Dane.
Hi, I'm here as usual too. Sorry if we sound a little different than normal. We are recording slightly differently because we have a wonderful guest.
Yes.
How would you like to be introduced? Because when we met you, you went by a different name. And I still call you the nickname I started calling you back in high school. But you tell us.
Okay, I think Leah is good. That's what I go by now. That's my name now.
All right, Leah.
Good. Then we are joined by that's not words. Leah's here. But I will almost certainly at some point in this recording call you Jules, and
Fine.
Occasionally I feel guilty about that, and then I decide no, that I'm just too damn special.
No, you are special. I don't care. Nicknames don't count.
Okay, there we go. That's good. But yeah, I don't think I think I've maybe called you Jules once, and I was like, I don't know, that's like a Dane thing, it feels.
Yeah,
it's cute. That's what my cousins call me too growing up, so I'm...
Jules is such a good name.
Creative guarantee on that one, but...
Yeah. Wow.
So when did we all meet is usually how we start these guest episodes.
Okay, well, I think I met Dane in art class.
Yeah, that's right.
I want to say sophomore year, maybe freshman. I feel like
I was freshman.
So I know I met you in art class, and I remember because you were wearing your winter hat in the middle of the summer. And I was like, something's up. I'm not gonna ask. Other than being nice to the kid, that everybody was like, why does he have his hat on?
Yeah.
And because my stepsister had a crush on you, and I was like, oh, okay, so I'm going to talk to him, and I'll get the lowdown for her. And then is when I actually met you, I was like, nah, he's too good for her. We're never gonna pass it along.
Wow. Wow, that is so funny.
Oh, it's true. Derek, I can't remember how we met, but I'm feeling like Christina and Amy were a part of it, and it was a very important meeting. Like, Amy was, just like radiant, positive self.
Yeah.
And had probably found you in a class or something and was like, oh my God, come eat lunch with us. And I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly either. I mean, Christina, Clara, Dane and I were all in jazz band together.
Maybe that's why.
And then
that's part of it for sure.
Yeah, that's part of it. And then marching band was definitely part of it. So that's where Christina comes into the picture. Yeah, I'm sure at some point I just got kind of pulled along to come eat lunch because I remember freshman year someone told me like, yeah, if you eat lunch on the first day in the cafeteria, that's how the seniors know which kids are going to dunk in the trash can. And I didn't want to get dunked in a trash can because I was done with that. And so I think I probably just wandered around until I ended up in that old like locker unit area. I know that's where we used to... It was first that locker unit where everyone had lockers. And then we moved next door to what we called the airlock. Because we couldn't be in the hallways during lunch, but we could be in that little in-between airlock mudroom thing that they have in Colorado and a lot of other places, not LA.
There's so much an issue there.
Yep.
Yeah, no. I also remember, Jules, that we started hanging out because I was good friends with Will, coming out of like middle school. And Will was one of the very cool people who stuck with me through chemotherapy. So at the end of freshman year, I didn't have a ton of friends, really. It was basically just him and Logan Bragdon. So I was just like, yeah, and I had like met you and Clara and and Derek, and you were all been like super nice in art class and jazz band. So I was like, yeah, I'll go hang out with these like nice people, whatever. Better than like being alone at lunch now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I remember that was a big part of that. But I was initially intimidated because and Derek and I were talking about this earlier about how Derek came from El Dorado and I was like from LMS, but like you guys seemed like super tight knit. Because you all went to Monarch before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys like seemed like super cool and like had like a whole thing, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm here, I guess. And I was at swimming all the time, so it like took me forever to actually get to like hang out with you guys. Sucked.
Oh my god, I forgot the whole swim thing.
Yeah. All I remember from your swimming days was there was like one day where you were like, yeah, I lost my shirt trying to fix a car on the way to swim practice or something.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a story that I don't need any more context for other than I just imagined you ripping your shirt off to like patch a car before it explodes. And I was like, that's cool. Dane's a cool guy.
No, okay. I will give context to this. So, in high school, I, with my grandfather, was working on Volkswagens, like old Volkswagens, like 60s, 70s era Volkswagens. And someone on my team randomly, like really, I was like, this is kind of weird. She had like a 1965, like bright blue Volkswagen Bug. It was like a cool car. And so we would drive to practice in it, and it broke down on the side of the road on 36, and she didn't know how to fix it, because I think it was like her mom's like project cars originally or something. And so like I was like, I'll take a look. You have a toolbox, which is great, and these cars are dead simple. So I got under the hood, and my shirt got I want to be clear, I did not rip the shirt off initially. It just was like there was grease, right? Like I was like, this shirt is ruined and I don't give a shit about it anyways. And then it was just a simple problem of like the gasket was blown. So I just, you can patch that with a little bit of cloth and scissors, and I made a crude one, and I limped us down to Boulder where there was there's still a Volkswagen parts shop, and it could get fixed properly. So it was a good time.
Okay, so you did use your shirt in some capacity to patch the car. It wasn't like it wasn't like you ripped your shirt off and then like tied the car back together like I imagined.
No. It was more of a thing of like, this shirt, the grease stains are never coming out of this shirt anyways, and now the bottom hem of it is destroyed, so I'm never wearing it again. So I it's just more of that thing. But yeah, I swam for a long time. It was dumb.
Yeah. Very dumb.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
It was a fascinating sport to hear about, though.
Yeah.
Maybe not one of the the stereotypical ones necessarily. So you kind of forget that it exists. And so you'd be like, oh, I have swim practice. I have a swim meet. And I'd be like, oh, yeah. People do that.
Yeah. And, okay. Swim meets are like the weirdest and worst thing. I just got to tell you. Like, I fucking hated them. And you get locked in this like okay, a swimming, like the average swimming pool is like a big space, right? And the space is relatively big, even if you count the part that the pool is, but they're not that big, right? So you usually are squeezing like 400, 500 people in like your average swimming pool area. And so it's like too many people, and everybody, like almost everybody is very, very close to naked, and like everybody's like kind of pissed and nobody wants to like. I mean, I didn't want to be there. A lot of people don't want to be there. It's also loud and echoey, like because most of the pools are indoors. So like all of the fucking coaches and parents are screaming as like at their children who are swimming desperately as fast as they can, and I'm like, they can't hear you anyways because they're underwater. It's dumb. It's so dumb. I just liked the physical exercise. And then I discovered lifting, and I was like, done. Like, I don't need this anymore.
Oh, that's great.
Is it?
I was just about to call you like a real bro. Like that's like the most bro statement I've ever heard you say. If I've ever heard you say something, it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
fair
dude, I discovered lifting, and that was it. That was the only thing left.
Bro.
Well, I just like exercising, right? Like, it makes my brain happy, and so
I mean, I'm the same way. It's just the way that
lifting is
you
like
phrased it.
concentrated. It's like you only have to do it for like an hour. You don't have to do a crazy thing. Nobody, unless you're really crazy, nobody's like, you should compete. And I'm like, fuck off.
Bro, I don't lift for sport. I lift for me.
No, I lift to make the happy brain chemical, really.
I lift for my brain, bruh.
I don't even lift anymore.
I need
now
to
I
stop
do yoga
doing this.
'cause-
Oh, God. Wait, so, Leah, what? I can't remember. What clubs did you do in high school?
What clubs? I didn't do any clubs. I was barely surviving high school as it
Oh,
was.
man. Okay, because I was like trying to remember like what like we all did besides eat lunch, hang out, go to the mall, watch movies, run around town, and the Ren Fair. And
Christmas, Wii brawl fights.
oh yeah,
we had brawl fests decently often. Maybe not weekly, but definitely monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I remember that there was like a period of time where Derek, every weekend, basically, either you and I were playing D&D or going to Christina's to play Smash, and sometimes we do both in the same weekend. I remember even at like 17, I was like, oh my god, I've been up till like 2 nights in a row. This might be too much.
And when we were 16 or 17, we were like helping Derek do all of his movie stuff for YouTube.
Yeah.
Either me and Will making food for all of you guys, or like building stuff, or what have you.
Forcing you to act.
Yeah, you were in a few movies.
Yeah. Ooh, yikes.
But you also did some really awesome catering.
We tried.
Fucking love. Well, okay. The other option was.
I'd like to say that I would be better at it.
Well, sure, but like if you were doing the catering, it meant that there would be real food and not like sandwiches that Derek and I slapped together, right?
True.
Those cold.
Slap together sandwich. Let's be honest. There's a time and place.
Nobody wants a cold, great value sandwich.
But you you didn't bring Crostini's. The little tiny pastas.
Pastines.
Yes. Those. God, I fucking love those.
Tiny
I wish
pastas?
I could still eat those, really.
What are those? Are they just like tiny pastas in a tiny cup, or are they like a full size bowl with a tiny pasta?
I remember they came in like a giant bag.
Tiny pasta. It was something my grandma used to make me, but pastines is like it's a colloquial term for Italy's, using air quotes right now, mac and cheese.
Oh.
Not mac and cheese, but that's kind of what it is. But it's typically made with stellina pasta, which is really, really small stars.
Okay.
And they're hard to find, but that is what it's made with. But another version you can make with pastina, not stellina, which is, it's also just another shape of pasta, another version of a tiny star, but like slightly different, stellina and pastina. But that's why they became pastines. It was because of the name.
God, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
So for full, to be completely open, Derek and I recorded earlier today as well. with Mr. Will Cordell, and then we hadn't eaten breakfast, and I was hungry through the whole recording. We talked about food,
Yeah.
and now we're talking about food because obviously you're a wonderful cook, and went to culinary school, and I'm fucking hungry again, like a dumbass.
I'm sorry,
You gotta
Dane.
stop talking about your foodie friends on an empty stomach, dude.
I don't know. There's no escape.
There's no escape.
There's no.
Hungry
No,
stomach.
there's no escape. Fucking Gracie, my partner, went out and got, I think it was motomaki or something, and brought it home and ate it in front of me. And I was just like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I miss motomaki so much. God damn.
Wow.
Yeah. 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 It's food's fucking good.
That
Yeah.
was good. Good tangent.
Mm-hmm. But hold on, I have a question.
Okay.
When do you think we all actually started hanging out? Because like the thing that happens in high school is where like you kind of figure out, like, usually, like, I don't know about anybody else, but I would always go through like a batch of friends in school before I got to like, these are the real ones, you know?
Yeah.
And I was when did we actually start like hanging out? Was it sophomore year?
I
that we
think
like
so.
actually started, and we all met in freshman year.
Yeah, maybe it was just like loose attachments freshman year, and then sophomore year it started firming up into like an everyday lunch group, hanging out on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, probably between more of us, and less so just like 2 at a time or 3 at a time from like old cliques, and we actually became like one whole clique instead of several of them with similar attachments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was kind of interesting though, because like none of us exclusively hung out only with each other, Like
Yeah.
Christina had all her marching band friends, and Derek and I had some like film and jazz band friends, and like Dalton was like really friendly with all of us, but Dalton mostly hung out with you and me, Jules, right? Like
For the most part, it was, yeah, because me and Dalton were friends, just the two of us separately in middle school.
Yeah.
We were in the plays together in middle school. And I watched him, date a whole bunch of women, who all went to separate high schools. And then when we all got to high school and he realized, that he was gay, and he was like, oh, I don't think anybody has any of my history that way except for the middle school friends. And it was pretty much me and Clara at that point. Everybody else had gone to a different high school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
High school's weird.
High school was weird, but
Did we do some theater together, Leah?
I think we must have at
We
some
must
point.
have, yeah.
'Cause I was an actor for freshman, sophomore year. Kill me now. I don't even want to think about it. And then I took over the costumes department junior and senior year.
Okay, yeah. So then we definitely did theater together.
We did
because
something.
yeah,
Something, yeah.
because freshman year was Robin Hood, sophomore year was
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I do extra in like all of them because I wasn't good enough to be anything else.
Oh God, I don't remember what sophomore year was, but
When did you do Falstaff, Derek?
that was junior year. And so that would have been when you probably put me in that fat suit that I had to wear.
Yes. No, me, because that was still when Natalie was running costumes, so I had to help her.
Oh.
We had like a whole evening where we spent like stuffing fat sacks.
Oh my God.
Good times.
Yeah.
See, I liked not really having a huge connection to theater because I just got the stories,
And that was good enough because
it was good enough.
They were not very nice. So
no, well, I know that. I know that very personally. I got my heart stomped like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Like the hottest ones there, Dane, and then you were just like, no, let's run with it, nerd and hottie. Like, I love you, but what did you expect?
Yeah, not much.
Oh
Uh,
goodness, man.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
at least in high school. Dynamics like that don't matter now that we're adults, but in high school,
Yeah. Like
yeah.
we're reminiscing and we're definitely talking more about like the funny and fun times, but like high school's bad. Like you can have an okay time in high school overall and whatnot, but like I think there's something wrong with the design. There's something wrong at the core. Um,
I mean,
I don't.
we went to a school designed like a prison by a prison architect.
seriously.
You know,
Yeah, that's true.
like we also went to a school that it had certain priorities with what it wanted its image to be.
Yeah.
And we were also, like we've talked about a few times, we were like black sheep of black sheep. We were the social outcasts of the social outcasts.
True.
And that was a very
Mhm.
strange place to be because, our friend group was very eclectic. To
Yeah.
a point where it's kind of funny and kind of weird how it all kind of congealed and stuck together as long as it has. Um, but also just yeah, like there's a reason like we kept eating in the airlock, and it's because like every other place to eat on campus was like a nightmare. Not just the cafeteria with all the freshmen getting dunked in the trash cans by seniors, but like sitting outdoors or in the student center was just like awful.
Yeah, and the other option I felt like was being a teacher's pet and eating in their room, and that just
Yeah.
most of its own issues associated with it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the only other hallway you could eat in was like theater and band hall.
Yep.
Um, and like sometimes that's nice, but like you don't want to be there all the time because people are either practicing instruments or they're in theater hall and it's loud and rowdy.
Really, I just found most of the theater hall to be like kids nogging on each other, like just straight out, just some porn happening in
Yeah.
theater. And there was
Yeah.
an occasional time where I would go eat there. I think it was probably because you guys would have band practice or something, or you wouldn't be there. But I would go eat there occasionally because I do know all of the theater kids. But it was
Mhm.
it was terrible. They were just all over each other and so loud all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, I would do the same in the band hall. Sometimes just to go hang out with Logan because he hung out with the drumline guys.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, it was pretty damn annoying to have like 5 to 7 different dudes all on a drum pad at the same time doing different rhythms while I was just like, I just want to like hang out. Like, because you guys aren't going to lose out if you stop practicing for, I get whatever,
No. The undiagnosed ADHD was rampant.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
It was so bad. It was so bad. It's so glaringly obvious. I think we were really part of the last generation that pretty much just went through our whole school system without any kind of knowledge on that, or maybe our
pumped entirely full of
didn't
drugs.
really care at all. Well, that was either the thing. You either had pharmaceutical parents who were pumping you full of that stuff since you were like 6, and that was our like whole age range, or you had parents like mine that were like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. You're completely normal. Even though I'm like, no, I'm seriously struggling. Like I'm not though.
Yeah.
So it was either together, you're pumped full of stuff, or completely left to our own devices, and then our parents were like, why aren't you good at school? I don't know. Maybe it's because I can't concentrate for more than 30 seconds and words start changing.
Yeah.
In the same hand, I was realizing like pretty recently, like I was like, why was I so like hated to be anywhere, couldn't like look much further ahead in my life than like a couple months at a time at that age, like outside of being a teenager, right? But like barely wanted to go to college, sort of like level. And I was like, oh my God, because my parents didn't put me in therapy after I had cancer at 14.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. I went and I talked to my mom. I was like, hey, did that get offered to me or something? Am I not remembering? And she's like, oh yeah, it totally did. You turned it down. And I was like, and you let me? Like, we thought you were fine. You said you were fine. I was like, okay.
That's a lot of trust to put in a child.
Yeah, I was like, I was a baby. What are you talking about?
My
You're
God.
totally right.
I
So,
mean,
like,
yeah,
there's that.
like, I mean, yeah, I feel you both on that. After I graduated college, I learned I had pretty bad dyslexia. Like,
Yeah.
like no wonder I like struggled to get like like decent anything in high school and college.
I know, and I'm sitting there looking at Robert and, he who will not be named get these, like, pristine ACT and SAT scores.
The amount of
And I was sitting there, like, just, like, wanting to die inside because I was like, not only could I not read any of it fast enough, but, like, the stuff that I did read fast enough made no sense. And then the whole test people were like, oh, yeah, that was easy. Fucking what?
Yeah. Like the amount of colleges that require a 28 ACT score minimum as like on the lower end of the spectrum of their like incoming class is it's ridiculous. Like I don't understand how anyone gets above like I don't know, like it took me 10 tries to get a 23. Like I don't get that. I don't get how you can ask for a 28.
Oh, I know. And they were just, getting these fantastic scores out of nowhere, and I'm proud of them, and I'm so stoked to have people that smart in my friend group because, I'm like, oh, I'm smart by association now. Like, they're getting all these rampant, amazing test scores. That means mine are going to be so good. And I got mine back, and I was like, wow, I will never be talking about this again with anybody.
Yeah. Oh, so two things on that. One, my sister is going to be a senior in a couple weeks at Mark.
Stop. No.
I know. It's
real talk. How tall is she?
taller than you, I'm afraid.
Taller than me? So she's not teeny tiny anymore.
No, she's still a little shorter than me, but not by much.
What? Dane, you and I are like almost the same height, so she's taller than me but shorter than you. Then
Jules, I'm sorry, but you might be overestimating your own height. The last couple times we've hung out, you've been wearing boots with big heels.
You're I'm 5'3".
Yeah,
and you're not that much taller than me.
I'm 5'9", Jules.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I
There's
am.
no way.
Jules, when we met, you were taller than me because I was a tiny kid.
Wait, Dane, you're 5'9"?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like, wait,
Since
that
when?
can't be possible.
Like,
I
was like 17.
wait.
No. Yo, I mean, I was wearing heels to Christina's wedding, but shit. God damn. Okay, all right, fine. You and your sister are tall now. That's fucking weird. That's weird.
I'm not tall. Okay, to be fair though, I actually Logan Bragdon actually said, he constantly tells me this. He said, what does he say? And it's just very him. It's like, you are my shortest friend who is not short anymore. And I was like, what does that even mean? And I was like, well, and he's like, when we met and you were 12, you were literally the shortest person I knew. And I was like, thanks. Okay, fair. It's true. It's like, and all of our friends were taller than you. And now you're taller than almost all of them except for like me. And I'm like, yeah, because you're like 6'3".
And that's not fair. And Logan was always massive.
He's always been massive. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, but in my head, you were always going to be shorter than all of my friends. And I'm like, that's rude, but fine. Like,
here's the thing, Dane.
Wrong. In my head, you're going to live as 5'6". You might be 5'9". But in my head, you're the same height size as me. That's it. That's permanent.
Sorry.
If it makes you, in case you're wondering, Dane, 5'9" puts you at Robert Downey Jr. height, John Hurt height. It puts you at the average leading man for a Hollywood motion picture. It means you're 2 inches taller than Tom Cruise, which means, Dane.
Tom Cruise has to stand on boxes, apparently. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
It means, Dane, you definitely can be in the next Marvel movie. It means you're Tom Holland's height. You could be Spider-Man.
Hooray.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, Zendaya yeah, you better be stoked for that, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, that yeah. If that's what's on the table, sure. Whatever. Whatever I need to sign to Disney, I guess.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's funny. But no, but what was I saying? Oh, she was telling me that like the ACT, SAT basically doesn't matter anymore,
That's good.
Ah,
which is good news overall. A little late for us, but good
Yeah.
news.
We
Well, I hear it, but a part of my soul just died.
I know. It's good for them. It's frustrating though. It's
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
and I will also say, interesting in the same hand. So over the last year, I had to do the LSAT, right? Which of bullshit tests might be king. And I was as I was doing it, I did fairly well. But the thing I came away from it with, which is like, this won't help me one lick in school. Absolutely not. And on top of it, it tests nothing. It tests nothing but your ability to take the test. All of those tests do that. They just test the test, which is so damn unhelpful. I don't even know. I'm glad that these things don't matter anymore, or as much at least, because God, they're dumb. So
and they cost money.
yeah.
They need your money.
The
Yeah.
LSAT cost me like $600 to $800 depending on if you count the books or not.
God, that's like paying for car insurance.
Yeah, it cost me a car insurance to take a test, to have a shot at getting into law school. Like,
yeah.
right? And then I did, it's a racket.
Oh man.
It's a whole damn racket.
Jeez.
On them, I'm so happy for them. But
Yeah.
also rough.
Mm-hmm. But Leah, of our friend group, it was just like you, me, and Clara that went out of state, right?
I mean, Amy eventually.
Oh yeah, Amy eventually. Well, in terms of
But-
like initial 4-year college.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Because you went to New York, right? Upstate?
I went to upstate New York.
Man.
Yep. I mean, I guess Dalton technically too, but he's not really included in the niche friend group. I think that we're talking about.
Yeah. It's like if it was a sitcom, there were a list of recurring characters and guest stars. You know. And Dalton was like a recurring character and eventual like major arcs here and there, right?
Yes.
Major arcs.
He gets one episode where it's like just him and his friend group, but it does somehow make sense in our subplot line too. And it's like
there's some
background
crossovers.
Yep. Yes.
Remember that day Dalton and I showed up to school and we were so badly sunburned because we hung out in his pool, which is like
Right.
it was the wildest pool I've ever seen.
Dalton's pool was the best pool I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was so wild, man. Wow, I haven't talked to Dalton in forever. I should
I had
reach
dinner
out.
with Dalton I had dinner with Dalton like a week ago. 2 weeks ago?
Oh, huge, good.
Wow.
Hmm? Well, he's only down in Denver, so you know.
Oh,
Sure.
but Denver though.
Superior now. He's moving to Superior with his partner, like a goddamn adult.
Oh,
Like, they bought a
man. Oh
Right.
wow.
Like
Wow.
like actually making moves into adulthood. It's so
Mhm.
crazy to think about. I can't even imagine it, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. So I'm cool with that though, because Gracie's friends and cousins are like getting pregnant, and that
Ew.
fucks me up way worse than someone buying a house. Like Dalton can buy a house. Like I'm like I don't give a shit. Like I'm just like
Well, one of the girls I was running costumes with, I want to say senior year of high school, is married and has her first child, like on purpose. Like
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's all on purpose, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
we are.
god
Yeah,
damn.
we are at that age. We are at that age that they make so many indie movies and Netflix TV shows about.
It's true.
Yeah.
Where we're observing other people make these decisions, and we're questioning it for ourselves. It's very strange. Like I don't know. Like I realized the other day that I am the single friend who's clued into like everyone's engagement plans. And I realized just how much I'm holding, and it's wild. It's such a strange place to be. We're in such a strange place to be in our mid to late 20s. Which Leah, are you 95 or 96?
I'm 96.
Oh, so I'm the oldest one here.
Yep.
Damn. Oh, I'm always the old boy.
You were the oldest one in our friend group, I think, too. Maybe Christina and you were maybe a few months apart.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, because she's 96 in January, and
Yeah,
I'm
I think so.
November. Yeah, yeah. I am the old boy. But yeah, it's just like that observation of like all these big life moves that are happening that feel really far out in the distance, you know, that are just happening full force for a lot of people. Pretty wild.
It is wild. And I think it's crazy that so much of us are in so many different stages of it. Like Dane's gonna get engaged any goddamn day now, and the rest of us are just like hanging out in our lives.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, okay. I will say the whole engage. We will see when that actually happens. That's I know. Like, I'm kind of the mind at this point. Like, she and I have been talking about it, and I'm like, either we're gonna do what we're saying, and we're gonna wait until I'm done with law school, or something's gonna come up, and we're gonna be like, we just gotta get this done, you know.
Well, I can totally see that for you guys. Like some really cute, really last minute, like running into the court building. You know, Gracie's finding some like cute last minute white dress that like her grandma had in a box somewhere. Like, totally see that for you guys.
It's
just like running in for a 20-minute ceremony, and then you have to go take a test or something, and then you guys party through.
oh, that's
see it.
great.
I would fucking love that. But the trouble is, Gracie's mother would hunt us down and murder us both if we did such a thing.
Have a party and like an official ceremony after you guys.
Yeah.
Like you guys
Catholics.
going into a courthouse
Catholics.
for 20 minutes. I can see it.
Catholics.
Yeah,
Catholics.
but
You cannot fight the Catholics.
You can't. I mean, you can. Yes, you can, because my entire family is Catholic, and let me just tell you, I've fought with them for decades.
I was gonna say it's pretty normal now to have a courthouse followed by a church wedding. It's pretty normal to have 2 to 3 weddings. Like pretty much all my cousins are having anywhere from 2 to 3 weddings each cousin.
I mean, that's what I want to do. I'm nowhere near that point, but that's my goal. Is like literally gonna get married in front of one person with me and the partner that I'm getting married to, and then have like a barbecue where we eat burgers for 4 hours and get really drunk, and that's the wedding. That's way behind. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
I don't know. I'm working on getting ordained because I have to for Taylor's wedding.
Oh my god! Yeah,
because they got engaged.
Okay.
They got engaged and they bought a house.
I've been together for like almost 15 years, like since they were 16.
I mean,
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, like I think because Taylor and I are both 95. And I think so is Nick. But they're in the class above us, which has always thrown me. So that means they've been dating. They've been together 16. I guess a decade, maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe or 12. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
remember watching them, not like meet. But like I went on the choir trip where they met.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like we all went to the Colorado National Monument on a choir trip. and they were like just starting to get flirty. I guess that they had done like some like play together, or maybe they'd seen each other in a play like in middle school, and then when they both went to Monarch, because Monarch's theater program was like the thing to go to Monarch for when you didn't want to go to Fairview. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I went on the trip with them, and I just watched them, make dovey eyes at each other on the bus for 6 hours.
Oh my goodness.
We are fucking 11 years later. Jesus Christ.
Wow. That's incredible. We are learning so many interesting tidbits about each other's lives today that we're getting like an inside scoop to different angles at different things. Like I finally like not only are we seeing all of our friends fall in love and we're learning more about other friends, but oh, this is great. Wow. That's wild. Life is weird.
Life is weird.
Man. Wow.
Yeah.
I think we should just
I don't like time.
Yeah.
I don't like time.
I don't like yeah. Okay.
Flies by.
It does. Something I learned that the only way to slow time down so your brain processes it more slowly is to apparently confuse it by doing new things.
Yep.
Yeah. The more new things you do, the slower time is perceived, because apparently when you hit the age of 30, time is perceived the exact same speed from when you're 30 till when you die. Yeah.
Well, at least then it will just hit a speed at which I can just get comfortable in.
I know that would be great. I mean, if it's flying by, maybe at least be flying by at the same rate.
Yeah.
That would be good. Instead of like 1 month lasting a year and then 6 months lasting a month. Because that has been weird. Like, how is it August? How is it not May? I don't understand where June and July went. I really don't, because this is not August. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah.
I really need it to be August, emotionally speaking. I really do.
Dane, it's all your fault. You're the one that did this.
I've been dying for it to be
You've
August.
been dying for it to be August, and the world listened to you.
No, August is my worst month every year. Every year without a fail. I'm not ready.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that
No,
August is your worst month.
No, it's the month that like everybody's like getting ready to go back to school, and like jobs are ending and starting. I get it.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I'm about to move my little brother into college.
Oh my God.
Again. Yeah. This is his third college, and he's doing really well this time. So.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah, he's going
Isn't
back.
it third year in college though? So has he moved every year?
Yes, he's moved every year. And I think he needs to do another year after this, but he's on a 5-year plan, I believe. But he has a major he really likes now. And
good.
He's going to a school that he seems to be like meshing with like how they teach really well. So I'm really happy for him. And I get to go to St. Louis, and I get to go driving around with my mom. So I'm happy with that. I also get to see my brother and listen to him rap more. So
wow.
Yeah, Leah. You can listen to my brother rap. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I would not have picked that for him. He was so shy when we were kids.
Yeah, but he just let it all out.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, send me the link when we're done with this call. I want to hear what he does.
I will. It's really great. It's funny. It's great. It's good and it's funny.
I think I just want to imagine it. I think I want to imagine it more than I want to actually know it.
No, I want to know it. I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things where, like, of all the hobbies he's committed to, this is the one that's stuck the longest. I know. So I'm curious to see where it goes. But yeah, wow.
Good on him.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this episode has gone all parts of time travel in terms of what we've discussed. But I think it's time we wrap it up. This was a good one, and we're going to be having Leah back next week to talk about more stuff. So come back next week, folks. And yeah, this is the part of the show where we say goodbye now. So Leah, time to say goodbye.
Okay, bye.